Hey everybody. If you follow my Instagram, you probably know I'm kind of like a tech guy. I like to fool around with building things and stuff. So one day I got bored and I started designing this hovercraft. So I guess I'm gonna explain to you guys, what was kind of going through my head as I was building this thing. So let's take a look at what past me did. So first, I want to set up the base of this thing. I was getting ready. I wanted to make sure that I had a curved front. Thinking ahead, it's gonna be harder to get the plastic skirt to fit, but that's a challenge for future me to figure out. Pretty early on, I figured out that I made it too thin, so I ended up switching that up, made it a little bit thicker. Should give it a little bit more sideways stability. Um, I figured out the center of gravity. That was just a plugin that I had on Fusion 360. Slapped the motor in the center of gravity, so the thrust should be directly in the center. Cut a hole out for the ducted fan, which is gonna cause me some problems later on in the video, which you guys will see. And added the thruster motor. So next, what I'm doing right over here is I'm making a mount that's gonna be laser cut out of some 3mm wood, and I just recently learned how to use a laser cutter and how to make it pretty efficient in my projects. So it actually speeds up the process a lot because with this being all 3D printed, it would be that would add at least like 3 hours to the printing time. I actually messed up the centering of it. I centered it to the motor instead of centering it to the actual board, to like the base of it. So I fixed the centering, added that. This is just gonna be real rough. I just wanted to gauge what it's gonna look like on the actual craft. I didn't actually set up the mounting holes for it. I forgot to mention that the bottom board is gonna be laser cut too. That's something that I'm planning to do. Very few 3D printed parts. Next, you saw in the beginning, I brought in a servo model that I had previously saved from some other projects. So I brought that in. I mounted where that's going to go. That's going to come in way later. I still have to figure out a way to mount the rudders and stuff to direct the thrust. So now is the interesting part, I'd say. This is gonna be kind of slow, honestly, because I'm learning how to use a new tool in Fusion. I'm trying to make a blade or a fan basically to duct the air down into that hole and into the skirt. And like this is extremely new to me, so this is my process of figuring it out. Basically, what I did is I took the diameter of the hole and then took that and minused it. Oh, what the hell is minused? I'm not going to use this audio recording anymore, I don't think. Okay. I'll just cut this out. Wait, I can't cut it out, though. Okay, this is going to be in the video anyway. No, I'm going to label this with bloopers. You guys are getting the whole package, oh yeah, my sister's on the call and she was making a lot of noise and I got real distracted, so I said a lot. Yeah, you were making noise. You know what? Okay, whatever. Damn. Everybody say hi Sara in the comments and like and subscribe, please. So this is me making a really rough copy of the fan. What you saw me doing before is there's a tool where you can so in Fusion you can set a sketch plane. So it's basically a plane in 3D space that you're putting a sketch ready to turn into a 3D model. And what I did is I created 3 equally separated sketch planes, and I made pieces of or sketches, rectangle sketches at varying angles, and then after using a separate tool to merge those sketches together in one solid 3D object, I've basically created a really, really inefficient fan. I used the rounding tool on the tip to try to fix that, to try to negate the awkwardness and weird edges of the fan blade, and I think I did a pretty good job. This probably wouldn't be as efficient as like a properly balanced, properly everything blade, but at this point I was thinking, I'll take it. I was having some weird splicing issues at the edge there, so I just decided to cut it off. And this is me merging it to the center rotation wheel. This wheel is what's going to connect to the motor. You saw me centering it at the very beginning of this. Now I'm making sure the fan is actually going to be stable and centered, because if those blades are off center on the circle, then it's not gonna rotate properly, and it's gonna cause vibrations, which is gonna make the fan inefficient and probably damage the motor as well. So this is the fan blade. I was pretty excited when I got it to work, and then I imported it in, and I realized that my math was all wrong. So I made it about like 50 millimeters larger than it needed to be, and I tried to cope with that by just shortening the wheel that connects to the motor, but that would just cause extreme splicing issues, which would take so much time to fix. So I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna take the fan blade off, right, move that off to the side, and I'm like, let me do this scientifically and like an engineer. So got the center line of the circle first instead of doing that last, created a 45-degree angle and made my first blade shape with that 45-degree angle. This is so this is like the base of my thing. Here's me, like, I was making sure it was really, exact. This is me measuring how much I overestimated with the fan so that I can shorten the new and improved fan blade by that much, which, I mean, hypothetically should work, but I'll let you guys see how that turned out. Like I said before, how there are like multiple different levels in quotation marks of sketches that you can do apart from each other. I just made same exact process as last time, except this time instead of just going off I'm going off angles and the actual. So I was trying to make the blade taper at the end, so the angle got greater or closer to 90 degrees, and the actual size of the blade got smaller so that it would be the most efficient that it could be. I think it turned out pretty well. This is me making the last one. I think this was about 85 degrees, I'd say. Which might honestly be too much. I don't think this is creating a lot of thrust at the very edge here, and to be a ducted fan for a hovercraft, I'm pretty sure you want maximum efficiency throughout the entire fan. Here I'm just deleting the unneeded lines just to center everything, and there's me putting it all together. Look at that, perfectly centered, perfectly in line, no weird splicing issues across the tips. That's just beautiful right there. Added it to the wheel, used the pattern tool to copy that by 10, created one body, deleted the old blade, put it into the thing, and I turned out to overestimate how small it would be. So instead of going back and fixing it, I could have just, measured properly once and done it the first time, but instead I said, screw it, I'm just gonna make the hole smaller. That's where I ended off. You can see I'm just replacing it, making sure everything fits. That's where I ended off. I do plan on working on it a little bit more, but that fan blade completely took me out of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a. This is going on for too long. The video's already over. Subscribe if you want to see another video in like 4.5 months. Maybe, I don't know. These take way too long to edit. Goodbye.